talk by telling you 3 things. And these are 3 things that you probably already knew before. There are many young people that suffer from different forms of psychological stress. Asking for help can sometimes be very, very difficult. And the last thing might be surprising for you. Many young people use the internet quite frequently, especially the social part of it. And that's it. 3 things that probably all of you already knew before. It gets more exciting if you combine these 3 facts. That's something what we did, and by this we created something very innovative and also something quite successful. And this thing is called digital street work. What is digital street work? Before I give you the answer to this, we will make one step back and talk about street work for a second. Street work is an established approach of social work, and the core idea of street work is to reach out to people that are not in reach of the social welfare system. Street workers do so by actively reaching out, like going to the places where these people are, going into their familiar surroundings. And these are usually public places, for example, like parks. But it can also be malls or stations, for example. We do the same thing, but we do it online. Our digital street workers reach out to young people on social media. So they go to Instagram, to TikTok, to Discord, and to many other popular online platforms for young people. They show their presence there, and when they see a post, for example, that indicates that somebody might need help or doesn't feel good, they will contact this person. I've brought a short video with me, so you can picture this process.
This is digital street worker Eike. He created an account for the platform Yodel. Yodel is an anonymous text board where people, mostly young people, can share their thoughts, ideas and topics. Eike is part of the Yodel community. He engages with users of the platform and participates in chats and is visually verified by the platform as a digital street worker. So, Eike browses Yodel and sees a post where a user indicates that he might need help. What Eike now does is simple. He addresses the post and offers the person in need to talk to him for online counseling. And if the young person agrees, Eike initiates a private chat. And after a short exchange of messages and information, it goes into a person-centered individual counseling.
Just a short introduction. I will go to 2 examples very soon, so that you can have more insights on this. Digital street work is open for all topics young people have. So young people can talk to our digital street workers about everything that burdens them. So as you can imagine, the range of topics is quite big, and we have some very complex topics and some not so complex topics. I brought 2 examples with me today. First example is a case of our digital street worker Jenny. Jenny was contacted by a young person, a student, and the student was quite afraid because he was fearing that his teacher might do an Anzeige against him, to file a report against him. Why? So the student, and along with his fellow students, decided to take their smartphones and make a video of the teacher in secret, or at least they thought so, that it was in secret. And the student made a video edit out of it, and unfortunately for him, the teacher got to know about this video. And for, I think, quite obvious reasons, the teacher was not really happy about it. So the student now addresses Jenny and wants help to get a solution to this problem and to not get an Anzeige for this. And in cases like this, it's not only about finding solutions in digital street work, it's also about media education. So Jenny supports this young person and helps him find a solution to the problem but she also explains him why the teacher was angry, because there are personal rights. Everybody has the right to our own image. And once you're on the internet with a video, it's very likely this video will stay on the internet. So how did this all turn out? There was no Anzeige done, so no file reported. The solution was quite simple. The student went to the teacher, said, "Hey, I'm sorry, it won't happen again, and I will try to get this video off WhatsApp." And that's it. Not all things in life have to be complicated, but unfortunately, some things are. This is a case of digital street worker Tobi. Tobi is very active on the platform Discord, and he's also quite well known in the Discord community. So when people see posts that irritate them or that indicate that somebody might need help, they will link Tobi to this post. And this happened. User A saw a post of user B, and his post said something like, "I don't know if I'm coming home tonight. I want to take the train." And so user A was kind of irritated by this, because this post was made in a community centering about problems linked to mental health. So Tobi talked to this user, and it turned out that the irritation of user A was correct. It was not about not coming home tonight because the train might be cancelled or something like this. It was about planning to commit suicide later that night. I'm not going too much into detail to save the privacy of the person and also the privacy of the counseling. But what I can tell you is that Tobi stayed in chat with this user for several hours on this day and tried to help him and tried to prevent the suicide. So when Tobi realized that this was really serious and the user actually had this serious plan, then he talked to him, he gathered all the information possible, and then he told him, "Hey, I'm worried about you, and I need to prevent this, and I need to contact authorities." So Tobi stayed in chat with this user until police and ambulance arrived, and after that, it was radio silence. After several weeks of silence, Tobi received this message. These are just two examples. One very complex case and one not so complex case, like a youth-related topic like WhatsApp, class chat, making funny videos. And this is just to give you an idea of the range of topics we deal with. And of course, most of the topics are like in between these 2 points. Since we started doing digital street work in September 2021, we have been in contact with more than 7,000 young people online. We did more than 3,600 counseling sessions. And in around about 300 cases combined, we were able to connect young people that had very complex and specific topics, like the topic I just told you about, to specialized aid institutions. So, if digital street work is so innovative and it's so well working, why have I never heard of it before? You might ask yourself, and that's a good question. The answer to this question is as simple as it is unrewarding. It's because digital street work does not fit into the system. And by this, it's very difficult to establish these digital street work structures. And let's do this with an example. Let's take the Youth Welfare Office of Munich or any city. This Youth Welfare Office has a local responsibility for the city. And by this, it also has local financing to this area. And now you take this city and put it on the internet. And Suddenly, the city borders are fading away because the internet is a place where borders don't really exist. So now you have an unlimited place, knowing that financing usually is linked to local responsibilities. And that's the challenge. And that's probably also the reason why you might not have heard of digital street work before, because it might not have been established in your area yet. So, that's one big challenge, but let's put this challenge aside and let's talk about something more encouraging. Let's talk about all the potentials digital street work has. And for this, we make one step back again. We go to the 3 facts I told you in the beginning. Maybe you still remember. So, first fact was there are many young people that suffer from different forms of psychological stress. Research shows that 1 out of 5 young people suffers from being lonely, feeling isolated, suffers from being afraid, being anxious. And 1 out of 20 young people has suicidal thoughts. Fact number 2, asking for help can be sometimes very difficult and challenging. And that's especially the case if there's nobody you can talk to. Research shows that 1 out of 5 young people does not have the social resources available, like partners, friends, or family, or like not available or only available on very rare occasions. So now we know that there are many young people that suffer from psychological stress. For example, there are other problems as well. And we know that not all of them have access to social resources. And that brings us to point number 3, to the internet. And that also brings us to the potentials of digital street work. We know for a fact that these young people are on the internet. I don't think I have to give you numbers to prove that point. We know they are on Instagram, we know they are on Discord, we know they are on TikTok, on Snapchat, on Reddit, and many other platforms. So if we know that these young people are there on these platforms, we as social workers have to be as well. And that's where the outreach approach of digital street work comes into play. Young people don't have to reach out by themselves to get in touch with help, with the help system, because we try to bring the help system, or at least the initial contact to the system, into their familiar online surroundings by going into these platforms and being present and offering counseling and support. Another potential comes with communication on the internet. While it might not be 100% anonymous, it is quite anonymous. I can decide whether I want to show my face or if I want to share personal information like my name, my age, my location. And by this, I can decide what information I want to share. And with this, young people might be able to talk about things that are very difficult to talk about when you're in a face-to-face scenario. And since there are so many online platforms, there are also so many different communication channels. We have text-based messaging like chats. We have voice communication. We have video communication. We also have email. And that makes it quite likely that we will find a communication channel that fits into this young person's need. So these are just some potentials digital street work can have for young people. It also has quite many potentials for us as professional social workers, but I want to highlight one thing. The big potential is inclusion. We reach out to people. We can reach out to them. We can reach out to these young people that don't have social resources, don't have access to the help system. And we might have the chance with this approach to include them again into the help system. At the end of my talk, I want to address you, as I'm seeing that there are many young people here today. If you sometimes have the feeling that there's nobody you can talk to, but you feel the urge to talk to someone, to vent, then please come talk to us, digital street workers. That's what we're here for, and we are here for you. Thank you.